Yo, thank you so much for your time, man. I know you're a celebrity now, so
No, man. I'm just, I'm just regular. I'm good.
but that's actually kind of what I want to explore. I want to explore like who you are as Timothy Earl Solomon as well, because I mean, besides all your memes and all your posts on Instagram, I mean, like who knows who you really are, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So wait, well, like where's your setup right now? Is this like in your kitchen? You just always just chill in front of your. This is called an MPC. What is this?
Yeah, this is my MPC. Uh, live. Made by Kai. My keyboard controller. I got my monitors, my candles, my turntable, my little mixer. So yeah, no one eats on the table. It's just me and my son. He's not here, so
Okay.
no one eats on the table. But so I turned the table into it's gonna be slash podcast and slash music things. I'm starting my own podcast soon.
What will this podcast be about?
It's gonna be about everything. I'm gonna speak about from social to politics to, of course, dance, history, just relationships. So all inclusive. Just whatever what's on my mind for that day. But
Okay.
definitely, it's going to be about dance history. About myself. Have some guests come in every once in a while or call it.
Yo, tell me about your experience being on tour with Amarian or
Well,
Amari.
I'm not really on tour with Amarian. I was hired along with two other people, Link and Ejo. We are the creative directors and choreographers of the show, and a guy named Roro, one of the original dancers and choreographers for Mario back in the day. So we're not actually touring. We hired five other backup dancers. My son is one of the dancers. We have a guy named Jacob, Kaiti, Kalani, and Toyin. Just three girls and two guys. So I just do. They say we just put the show together, and and all that kind of stuff, and then let them go. It's like I think it's gonna be their third show coming up in New York.
Damn, how does that whole process unfold? Like, does that mean you just create like the general choreography, or you kind of even after they do several shows, they come back to you and ask for advice?
Oh, no. I mean, if they need it, as far as if they're on the road and something needs to be changed, or that may happen differently on stage because we was in the studio, so stage was definitely bigger. But usually it's just we would create, because it was a 6 weeks. I think it was a 6 week process of creating the moves and the concept of the show. So we had to do all the um, transitions. Getting the dancer in and off the stage. Getting Amarion to places that he needs to be at, the times he needs to be, throughout the songs and stuff. So directions, things like that. So it's definitely a process. This is my second time with him, as far as working with. I did Millennium 2019 when he did with B2K. So I was one of the choreographers on that one. So
How
then,
large is his fan base? Is he like,
I mean, I don't really. It's because since the B2K days, definitely a lot of these people been rocking with him since they were 15. Since
true?
he was 15, and then when he did his solo albums, and yeah, he has a large fan base. Personally, I think he can be larger, and I think he will be much larger. But he definitely have a solid fan base.
Okay.
He's a cool guy too. All around. Because first time I worked with him doing private lessons was in 2008. So we met back then. So he's a really cool guy.
That's true. Okay, cool. All right. Yo, let's talk about Popin Pete, yo.
Yeah.
How did you even get that name? And because it's actually so different from your regular name. Now that I really think about it.
Yeah, because my actually my nickname, you know, we call nickname, play name is Peter Gunn. Peter Gunn is was given to me when I was. My mom said I was 2 years old. There was a television show called Peter Gunn in the late '60s that uh, that a detective, a white detective, and it's come on, and the theme song was dun 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 dun, dun. And it said my mom said every time I heard that song would come on, I would go to the television with my little cap gun and watch and just watch. And actually, I just like 2 years ago, I actually went on YouTube and looked it up and seen like what it was about. So they just started calling me Peter Gunn. And when I was, had a memory of that name, I was probably like 6, 7, and then my mom would call, from outside playing. She would, "Oh, Peter Gunn, get in the house," or, "Peter Gunn, clean up." And then well, people start calling me Peter Gunn and just start calling me Peter. Peter is the name that the neighborhood called me. All my cousins, family, they just start calling me Peter. Only people calling me Timothy was the people basically I went to school with, from my schoolmates. They would call me Tim or Timothy, and teachers. So, but when I go back to the neighborhood, it was Peter. When I started at 16, when I started learning how to pop, when Boogaloo Sam, my brother, started teaching me. Prior to that, everyone that started before me had these dance names, and I was like, wow, they had, Chicken Wheel, Twister Flake Don, of course, Boogaloo Sam, and all these different names. I'm like, I need a dance name. And I was in, I was 16, so I was probably in 10th grade at the time. And I was in my biology class or something, and I was just going over, just trying to, write names, because I started learning doing the style popping. So my little brother started doing ticking. So his name is Derek, but we call him Decky. So he changed his name to Tick and Deck, and Deck. So and then so I was writing all these names and using my real name, Popin Tim. Nah, that wasn't working. I was sitting there, like erasing, then Popin Timothy, and since the dance is, especially it's pronounced popping, a lot of people, when I started seeing my name as Popin, people thought that was what the dance, how you pronounce it, but it's actually popping. And and when I was trying all that, didn't work, Poppin Timmy, and then I wrote Poppin Peter, which sounded horrible, and no one ever called me Pete, because you called me Pete when I was young. I got angry because I said, no, my name is Peter. Peter, I thought was a nerd name. It's like Pete. Okay. So when I wrote Poppin Pete and said it, it just rolled off the tongue. So I came home from school. I went to my brother Boogaloo Sam. I said, look, I got a name. I got a name. He said, what's that? I said, Poppin Pete. And he looked. He was 19 at the time, and he's like, I like that. So I became, Popping Pete. Then, thus, I said I wanted to be fancy, so I started spelling my name with one P, but it was POP-IN Pete, because I started telling people. Yeah, I started telling people my name. My name means, or the meaning of my name is, the pop is in me. The pop is inside of Pete. So because it was about how hard I could pop, so you had to pronounce my name Pop in Pete. So pop is in me, but people couldn't do it. So I kept saying, "Hey, what's up, Poppin Pete?" I said, "No, my name is Pop in Pete." They go, "Oh, Poppin Pete." I say, "No, I'll spell it POP-. There's a pause. There's like a pop in Pete, Then when I take it, and since nobody could actually grasp that concept of how I needed to, it to be said, so I just said, "Oh, forget it. It's Poppin Pete." So I still dropped the P and the G, or the extra P and the G, and my name just became POPINPET, which is just because it's called the pop is in me, but it has that. Spelling has nothing to do with the style. Style is pronounced popping. So That's how I got my number. And then from this point on, everybody started calling me. You're not calling me Popin Pete. And I used to get kind of angry, not angry, but annoyed because they still were, because Pete alone I still wasn't used to. Popin Pete, I'm cool. Pete, just it taken a few years for me to get used to people just saying, "Hey, what's up, Pete?" No, no, my name is Peter, but not Pete. But they said, "But your dad's name is Popin Pete." Yeah, I know, but you got to say the whole name. You can't just call me Pete. But
Yo,
now,
I'm not gonna lie. There's so many people that associate you in somewhat of a way, like as the face of popping, that now that I know the history of your name, it screws up people's understanding of P-O-P-P-I-N-G.
yeah, exactly.
Even me too. I was like, yo, why is there only, because I looked at your Instagram, like, why is there only one P?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Yo. And then now
Yeah.
that oh my God, that's because
Yeah.
you can't add a hyphen.
No,
That's
no, no,
it.
no, no, no. You can't. I mean, you could. I mean, it's there now, but I
Okay,
don't.
okay.
I'm taking it away because it's just like it's so funny to see a lot of people's like over like 20 years ago autograph I did with a hyphen, and they say, oh, "Remember this?" And I like with a hyphen, like, "Oh, you got the original autograph, NP. You didn't get Poppin' Pete. You got Pop NP." So
Okay.
yeah.
Has since the birth of Pop and Pete, like, has there been like a internal, like a difference between your experience as Timothy and how you and Pete? Like, did it come to a point where Pete just kind of overtook
Yeah.
Timothy, or like,
Yeah.
tell me about that.
Yeah. I mean, I just even put up a video about that, because a lot of people, even like 4 or 5 years ago, people were shocked to know my name is Timothy. Like even when I say my name in class, Timothy Earl Solomon, oh, wait, oh, what? Like we're like a Timothy Earl Solomon. So Pop Pete definitely taken over, and then the persona of that became, embedded, and people started, looking at me because of that. Oh, and names to people. Oh, he's a legend, or he's a pioneer, or he's a celebrity, whatever this is. But me as Timothy got lost, and of course, and then, but it's like only shared by like some of my, again, older people I went to school with or grew up with. They wasn't there. They wasn't used to the Papa Pete at first. They was like,
That's what I'm saying.
Timothy. They were like, oh, Timothy, Tim. So for them to say Papa Pete is weird for me. Because they had been calling me Tim
So,
or Timothy.
so when did you
So,
like bloom? Like, when did that? When did you bloom? Like, was that during high school then?
no, well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, after we did Soul Train, 1979, my name was getting around because in the streets of Long Beach and Compton and all that. So people start hearing about me. So the name started proceeding, just getting out there. And people at that time, because it wasn't social media, so you didn't see or didn't have a picture or anything of a person. Names were, you know, were there. It's like, oh, this guy from Long Beach named Papa Pete. I could be sitting next to the person. They can say my name. They wouldn't know it's me. But it just started, circulating, especially when you, in those days, when you know you made it or made your name, made it out there big in a sense, or this is when it got outside of your neighborhood. When people start, talking about you in LA. Because I never lived in Los Angeles. I lived in Long Beach, from Fresno to Long Beach. So when you start hearing people say, like you go someplace, say, oh, when I say my name, say, oh, I heard you, and then it's not in your neighborhood. That's when you knew, you have surpassed the fact that you're just a neighborhood,
Yeah.
name. So,
Okay.
and that's when it kind of started, like after, Soul Train. And we did other TV shows before that. So we first started, became a group and turned professional in that very same year. So when we did Soul Train, 79 had really only been popping for 7 months. That's when but we had performed other places. I mean, I was performing in other places. I mean, live stuff. 4 months after I was learning, I was still learning, not learning. I was still learning, even when I got on Soul Train. I was still learning. It's like, nah, I didn't know. It's just because we got out, put ourselves out there in the sense of we got something, and no one had seen us like that in Hollywood, or a group like us and doing what we do. So that's why the people gravitated towards us, even though Sam was the one who was actually more experienced in it than the rest of the group. But since there was not a lot of people doing it like us, we got a pass.
May I ask you,
Hmm.
like, what did your family think about all this? Were they like your mom and your dad? Like, what was their reaction to this?
My parents are very proud. My our father was our manager for about a year. Get trying to get us things and get us live gigs and at rec centers or talent shows or whatever it is. My mom made our uniforms. She made the two uniforms that we danced on Soul for.
Oh.
So the black and silver, and then the other one. So
Okay, what about now? What about jealousy? Was there anybody in your sphere that you felt not a negative, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you they weren't wholeheartedly supporting you. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Is
yeah, I
there
know what you're saying.
anybody?
No. I mean, within the immediate family, immediate friends. No, everyone, because everybody wanted to be a part of the journey. Because they looked at us, as we were this new thing, and people was loving what we were doing. So we had, oh man, the neighborhood, everybody supported us. Like one of our first shows in Long Beach was at a high school, Polytechnical High School, which we wasn't even going there. We just went to the city and said we wanted, as Electric Boogaloo, this is right after Soul Train, and we're popular in the neighborhood, and they granted us permission to perform. They let us use the print shop to print up the tickets. It's in the city of Long Beach, and they said we can use the auditorium at the high school. And at that time, it's a student body there is like 2,200. So pretty much, I think the seating in the auditorium was 2,500. We sold out the
Damn.
neighborhood, and we had posters. The city made posters and stuff. I still got someone had sent me the actual ticket, and I put it up on one of my somewhere. On my Facebook. So I had that, and so the support, and there wasn't no, other than rivalries and people like that was just jealous of the fact. But I'm talking about support of family and friends and neighborhood. I mean, we were ghetto celebrities. That's what it was.
What was so you talk about how popping was this introduction to this basically new world. What was the dance scene like at that time? Like, what styles were there? Like, what
Locking and robot, and whacking.
lock? What?
And I'm talking about Southern California.
Okay.
Northern California, of course, had strutting and Chinese robot and things like that, posing, all that. Um,
Did y'all
but
really come up with the Fresno because y'all were just from Fresno, California?
yeah, the Fresno actually the name of the routine. Sam named every routine because when we performing, we can say, we're gonna do the Fresno routine into the peanut butter, into the so and so, into the salt. We have about four at the time we was together. We had about four routines. Every routine
Nice.
has got a name. So Fresno was
Ah,
the full routine that was done by the original crew from Fresno. See, electric boogaloo are not from Fresno. We're from Long Beach.
Long
Electronic
Beach. Okay.
boogaloo, electronic boogaloo rockers, which is Sam original crew, who formed, which later we just merged into Electric Boogaloo.
Ah,
Uh, they, that group, started pretty much started it off, as far as the
ah.
steps, the routines and stuff. So, and that's where it came from. So when Sam started teaching me how to pop in the from the foundation and the technique of it, he started teaching me the Fresno thing. So because it was showing me how to use my arms, my chest, my knees, my neck, which is still just the beginning of the routine. But then it formulated into a teaching technique because that's the way he taught me of that. And they had the swing, all this stuff, you know, in the beginning is the way it was, you know.
Yeah.
And so we just say that technique is because it's from the actual routines.
How did Boogaloo Sam get into this? Like, he seems like he had a lot of influence. How did
Yes.
he?
Well, you know, from the you know him, you know, we growing up. You know, Sam is we had the same father and different mother.
Okay.
So, but Sam always, when he was young, always been, you know, the dance, one of the best dancers out of siblings. You know, it's like 8 of us. So, but Sam was shy, you know, when he was young. But he learned a lot of his stuff from his aunt, his great aunts, grandmothers when he was young, and because they always had parties. He grew up around, you know, he was like, you know, we talking about 7, 6, 7. You know, even myself, that's what we did. The house parties. In black families, they in those days in the mid '60s, because Sam is 3 years older than me. So Sam was, you know, was at least mid '60s, was 9, 8 or 9.
Okay.
So here it is that he's seeing all these people dance and doing these creative dances, whether it be the jerk, the twist, the Watusi, the breakdown, all these things. So Sam always had this weird, not weird, but strange, weird way how he moved. He danced. He always did some extra stuff. But you know, you growing up, you don't, you know, you just still, you know, he's one of the best dancers. So,
Oh, that's so cool.
so and the whole thing about how the whole Boogaloo Sam, that whole name, say, got put upon him is because, and Boogaloo is a original dance, not what we do, not what Oakland does. It's a dance that even back when my mother and them used to do. James Brown did it, and it was actually done by it's called the Latin Boogaloo, which is basically music. It was a music and it was a dance that came out of New York in the mid '60s, you know, the early '60s to the mid '60s. So the and also when they reached down south, you know, as far as Arkansas and all that, they deemed it Boogaloo as also means to get down, to cut the rug, to get busy, as we would say now. So when Sam was dancing, the older, you know, the uncles and all that would say, "Oh, Sam, do that Boogaloo, do that Boogaloo," which means he just doing getting busy. And so since they're saying Sam do the Boogaloo, Sam doing that Boogaloo Sam. That's how he got his name, and then that's how the movement that he was doing started. Just, you know, people started, you know, looking at that as the way he got out, because Sam would say that's just in his field. Then people say, "Oh, that's that Boogaloo. That's Sammy doing that Boogaloo." So that's how the way Sam moved and how we learned. Because Popin and Boogaloo is two different things. You know, Popin is a contraction of the muscles. You know, with that hard, you know, contraction, doing it rhythmically to music.
Yeah.
Changing level, changing positions and rhythms in a sense. You know, because popping is a singular dance style. It's not the umbrella term for all styles.
Okay.
Popping is just a singular one. So that's and then Boogaloo is that more smooth, isolating, you know, rolling and posing. So these are the two styles that of creation that he came up with. You know, despite what, you know, what people try to say, I know, you know, and then and these are the things that he taken from other dance style he was influenced by. Again, like I said, the jerk of this dance like this.
Hey.
And then he started moving going faster, and that's why he had this swing.
Oh.
The twist is kind of like how we do the Boogaloo field. This is like you see especially Sam doing all this kind of stuff. That's Boogaloo field. So that's that whole different isolated movement.
Yo, who
Yes,
is in the EB fam?
I can't tell you a bunch of people. I don't know how many people in there now.
Oh, it grew? I thought there was just an original amount of people that.
Ah man, we put people in it, and you have to get in because you have to know all styles that we do that
Okay.
electrical will do. You have to know the history. You have to you got to teach on the ideology of what we do, and
Uh,
we just don't put anybody in like that. But it's a lot of people. We got a few people from Russia. You got
Jeez.
Japan, Taiwan, America. Um,
Damn, you guys are the United Nations.
yes, pretty much. And that's a cool thing, and we don't, and it's just something that me, Skeeter Rabbit, and kind of start talking about because we was going to Japan and stuff, and then we put Tetsu, Cherry, and all these people down years ago. They just became family,
Ooh,
like bam. Then we just put the Evie family title, which I think Wiggles actually came with that titlement.
cool. I wanted to ask about Skeeter Rabbit. Like,
Yeah.
what's his relationship to you? Who is he, and how did he get into dance or get into
Uh,
popping?
Cousin, he was locking at first, locking in Rule Body, and it's like one of the people that relatives is you don't see, and when you see them, they just doing the same thing you're doing. So, and he just started wanted to learn how to pop and boogaloo and all the stuff. And then, and actually he wasn't that like all of us. We wasn't good. He wasn't good. I wasn't good. We just learned, because something new. And then we were quite often told to ski because he actually locked very well.
Ah,
Uh, and stuff. So and robot and all that. We said somebody told him that you should stick to locking. Popping ain't for you. And we just kept practicing. And but he didn't become a full-fledged member until like 96.
ah,
So because he had his own group called Twilight Lockers,
ah.
and, and then they locked and popped a little bit here and there, but and then he fully became a member. And because we had uh, from 78 we was other members, and he was just he would just be around learning and stuff like that. But and I think the first time he did a show to get well. No, yeah, what full fledged. We was under the banner of Lecture Boom. We did a show like in '82,
Okay.
something. Yeah, we
Ah.
just put some guys together and just went under the name.
Okay, cool. Okay, now I'm gonna dig a bit deeper into who you are. I always wanted to know about Boogaloo Sam and Skeeter Rabbit, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, yo, what is a single word which is enough to describe you as a person?
Woo. Passionate.
Oh, yo, I actually love your shirt, by the way. Yo, come on, why are you gonna wear that shirt, bro?
I found a shirt at a thrift store in LA, man. Oh yeah. So yeah, I definitely love it though. Tie dye is one of my favorite things. So.
Other than music and dance, what else are you passionate about?
Man, other than music and dance, uh, equal rights. You know,
Jeez, get him.
um, it's for me. It's not about being a feminist. It's not about being in it. It's just about being equal rights for everybody, man, women, whomever. Equal rights for every whatever religion, creed, color, whatever it is. I think everybody should be treated equally, especially equally on the fact of whatever you. Now there's social equal, being in that situation, but I'm talking about if you go into college and you're a woman and a man, you got the same degree, you went to school at, for the same things or whatever, you should get paid the same. If you're
Yeah.
an actor or actress, and you make blockbusters movies as both, and you get paid accordingly. That's that. When I say equal, I don't, and equal means according to what your status and stature is. I mean, if you're a lead role in a movie, and you should get paid accordingly to that. And I don't mean just because you're a lead and the other guy's a lead, but he has 10 blockbuster movies. Yes, he should get paid more than you, but you still should get paid in that equal of who you are, and not cheapening you because of your sex.
I feel like this must have come up because you've seen a lot of unequalness.
Oh man, just been in the business, dude. Just been in, around Hollywood. You see it. You see it a lot. You know what I mean? Or just in the workforce. Just the times that I've done what they deem regular work. I don't know what to say. It's just all a job for me. But when you get out and you just see it. You see people. Some people, whether it be of their color, got to work harder than others.
What?
That's there's sexual orientation. It's just I just I understand there's a status quo, but at the same time, when it's blatant and all that, I'm not down for that. But I'm also, like I said, I'm down for men power, women power. I'm just down for equal. Just be equal, man.
Right.
Meaning you treat everybody with goddamn respect.
What do you think the goal should be for humanity?
Man, everybody respect each other, man. It's about, stop looking at, you know, this, oh, it's like I'm better than you, or I'm more privileged than you. Like, my thing is we all contribute to this nation, this world. And it's just certain people, me growing up, there was even people who were, I was poor. I came, I lived in food. I was, coming up in a poor family. But there was people that was even in that status was talking about people who was even deemed slowly poorer than them. So, but you, just because you can put a extra piece of chicken on your plate, so you better than this person. Like
Oh,
your status is, you still poor. Even poor people have a status quo or some kind of social unjust or unequalness. It's crazy to me. Like, as you look at it, it's just not rich to poor, middle class to this. It is, I didn't know middle class people. I didn't know rich people. I knew poor people that was in my neighborhood. And sometimes we were acting like we was better than that poor. We ain't as, we would say po. We ain't as po as you. Like, wow, you can't even get no new tennis shoes. Like your tennis shoes got holes in them, but you don't have to. It's crazy, man.
yeah.
On every level. So that's why
Don't
I
you?
say I look at stuff and
Mm.
I'm not a person who I don't always just look at the rich against the poor. It doesn't matter because this disenfranchised people is going or whatever it's going to be in any situation. Like I said, I only knew poor people. I didn't hang out with rich people. So everybody I knew in life, but somebody thought they were better than someone. Instead of saying
Yeah.
we all poor, let's all get together and just respect each other. No, that's my thing is everybody needs to respect each other. No matter the status of your money, your bank account, or the color of your skin or your religion.
Don't you find it interesting how being an artist, but also not just being famous, but reaching a sort of mastery can put you in a position where you're able to see this, like able to see concepts like equality from like a third person omniscient perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like isn't that the weird part though? Because you represent both, but at the same time you can, even me too, you see individuals that are much more in their own groove. This is kind of what their life is.
Right.
And so like let's just say, if they are going through that, that chicken thing, they're kind of staying in that. So
Right.
it's almost like it's really sometimes it hurts me too because it's almost like too much awareness because like you say, I wish there could be equality too, but how can we achieve that?
Yeah, that's the hardest thing because it's easy to talk about it, but like I said, this has been, I'm 58 now, and I'm to, you know, I just remember, just growing up and just seeing things and then going, man, I wish this would change. I wish this would change. Yeah, there's a lot have changed. I mean, of course, uh, is it changed fast enough? No. Sometimes the change is not. The change isn't even permanent. So you know that wishful thinking is, it's been, when I talk to, to my black people or black friends or whomever, it's like, we all got now wishes, man, I wish. It's never that thing like, this is actually could happen, and I mean, some things have changed, but you're always going to have that, I wish. It's the equality. It is the respect. There's a lot of different things that is still going on in 2020. That was
Yeah.
going on in 1969, 1975, 1984. So when I see it, I'm just like, you got people, oh, I think it's going to change. I said, yeah, well, you know, it's slow in coming, but
Mm.
I always say it is what it is.
Yeah.
Just try to, you know, you try to live your life as best as you can as of the time that you have here, and you make the best of it because things are not. If the change was going to happen, it would happen a long time ago. Meaning that equal. No one is pointing fingers at someone getting better than you, but everyone says, "I see you on the same equal plane as anyone." No questions. No one going, "Hey, you," but you. No, it's like, my respect is universal. But it's a
Yeah.
few of us that do that, but not, especially the powers that be.
I'm honestly surprised at how eloquently you actually speak. Cause like sometimes I always thought you just had like this joker side to you, but when I sent this like maturity and professionalism in the way that you carry yourself, and I feel like that comes from your like wisdom, like your wealth of experience, yo.
And man, and the crazy thing is, like when I was young, I mean, I'm talking about in my 20s, I never spoke. I always listened. Even when I first started learning how to dance, learning history, learning things. I never was that kid in school that jumped up and raised his hand, but I was always the kid that listened to everything people say. I hold everybody accountable to what they say, and I can repeat everything people say to me. Like if you say something to me, I go, "You said no, I didn't." Yes, you did. And you know, so I always tell people, be careful of what you speak to me because I'm gonna hold you to it.
Okay.
And that's why now I speak. People say, "Pete, you talk a lot." Yeah, I do because now I have a plethora of knowledge, and I understand, and I can my processes of things is quicker, so I can so that's the reason. And like I said, I didn't graduate high school. I didn't go to college. None of that. So I'm I
Dang.
just I was just a person who understood the the power of words and also the power of listening. Freaking people don't listen.
Well, that brings us to music. So yo, this thing is on that you have right in front of you, no?
Yeah, I mean like 7 new beats. So
Dude,
that's what
I
I
swear
do.
you do you ever even post your beats like in an album or anything? I never like
I just do it on IG. I'm going to put it out. I just beats by Pete. Well, my name is Popin Pete. It's Popin Beats. I'm going to put stuff out. I just just traveling a lot, and I take this thing with me everywhere because not only is it it's also rechargeable, so I can be on. I don't. It go for maybe 4 or 5 hours without recharge. So
Okay.
so I can carry it around, like, and get on the plane, be on the plane. Oh, my balls! When I get on the plane with this thing and play it, I mean, not play it, but I'm just using it. People looking like, what is that? So the flight attendants, they would come over. Oh, what is that? You're like, oh, let me hear.
That's hilarious.
So I was just working on it yesterday.
Yo,
That one,
um,
that one, and then this one's called.
the
Uh, uh, this one's called. Oh, whoa, damn! Whoa, damn!
whoa, damn.
And it's like.
Dude, you gotta put this out.
Yeah.
This guy's wow.
And I do, like, I don't have a general idea. I just start finding the sounds, and I can actually put a whole song together in the fastest I've ever done a complete song is about 30 minutes.
What the?
Yeah, I just understand how and what I want, and then if I come back and tweak something, I come back and tweak, but I can have a whole song, the idea of this song of complete in 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay,
Right.
so we gotta educate everybody. You gotta educate me. So what is this machine that you have? What is it called?
It's called a Kai MPC Live. It is, and actually I have the first Akai I ever bought is MPC is an MPC 62,
Okay.
number 2, and I got that one back that was in the early or late 2000. I mean the late 90s. So what they did is an updated version of that, which that one is huge. This is I think I have my house. So my other people's house. It's huge. It's a big thing, but at the time we thought it was the best thing, and plus it used floppy disk and all that. So the same principle, but I had to relearn. I had to go on, tutorials, and actually my son also helped me learn how to use it and reuse this.
Oh.
And so I've been going ever since. So I mean, I was doing music and like in the '80s. Me and my cousin had a recording studio at his house, and he had like a back room, and we had a little small recording studio. I was in a couple rap groups that had recorded, and had a couple songs out on the market.
What is the how do you describe, what's the word to describe someone that uses this machine? You're not a DJ, are you a producer?
I'm a beat J.
Are you lying? Is this really that's called?
That's what I deemed. What I do. That's what I tell people. I'm not a DJ. I'm
Ah,
not a producer. I can play. I can play by ear. Keep some stuff. But I can take samples, or I can build a whole complete song without using any sample. Just all sounds that I
damn.
play. But I always say, because you got beat makers, you got producers, musicians, DJs. I'm a beat J. I make beats. So I
I'm still
can.
dying about your name.
Yes. So like I said, I can. The plan before the coronavirus hit in China, I was talking to one of my friends who was gonna. She was like, she said, every time you always play your music in the class and everybody rocks your music. See, why don't you use your machine to play at the battles and host? So it's me. So I have a thing where I'm gonna have a podium, have my machine here, and it's me playing all the beats because I always say a lot of times people know the music already. When you have random music people don't know or surprise, people dance differently. You know the real people dancers for me that dance off of any stuff that they never heard. That's how I dance. I love to dance off stuff I've never heard. First time, surprise, let's go. That's why anytime I do a dance, a judge solo now, I said tell the DJ just play what you want to play. Whatever you play, I'm gonna dance to it.
Damn.
So because I love the surprise of the thing. I don't like if I know if I like the song they play it cool, but I know a lot of people listen to music and they know all the beats, all the hits, all the things because they know these songs. But especially in battles, and then you got I call what you call designer DJs. Designer DJs are the ones that would actually see a person that they know and know a song they like, and they play that song for that person.
Just
Because they cater to that. I love when people just hear random songs, and I'm telling you, I've exposed a lot of people when they don't know the music.
have you ever been to a jam where the concept was like the DJ for the whole battle had to use only fresh music that no one had ever heard? I think that's only in the capability of someone that does beat jing, or like you could create like a whole set list just
Yeah.
to like debut it for a battle. That would be the only way to truly make sure that
That's what no one has done it. That's what I was saying. That's what me and my friend was talking about doing with me.
oh, that would be sick.
Yeah, because that you got some DJs that will place some mixes that people may have never heard, but mostly they're gonna stick to what's the most popular stuff that people are already playing. And again, it's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you want to challenge somebody of their creativity and their skills. Put on something that they don't know. And I'm telling you,
Sheesh.
yeah, but that's because I come from the days of listening to radio. So radio, we would,
Oh,
we
true.
would yeah. So we at those times they play some. They have a list, but when you don't know the list at first, you hear something for the first time. Like when I heard Zap and heard the song Dance Floor, and it was like going. All I heard the DJ the DJ said on the radio said, got a new song coming up by this group called Roger Troutman and Zap. And when it came out of commercial, all we heard was boom, 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 boom. And me and Skeeter Rabbit screamed. We was like, what the hell is this? And it was so permanently funky in the ear, and we took off. And it just felt good for what we do. But everybody back then, that wasn't a popping song. He didn't create that song as the popping so and so. It was a party song. And you play that song in a 21-year-old club back in the day. Everybody out there just partying to it, doing party. It's not popping or any waving and tutting and all that to it. It just became that. It became that later. Even though we started doing it off of that, but those people didn't create that for us. We just turned it into that.
What are three musicians off the top of your head? Just three really dope
Musicians
creators.
or creators.
That's hard. See, look, that's why I was thinking the word. But yeah, any of that genre.
I'll say George Clinton, Roger Troutman, and Bootsy Collins.
Jeez. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you a funny question. Yo, what's that? What's that on your fridge?
Oh, that's my niece drew that for me when she was a couple years ago. Yeah, she's embarrassed of it. I told her I put it up on IG. Now she was only I think 11. Now she's like almost 14. So now she's a teenager, and she said, "Why you have that on your refrigerator, and why you put it on on IG?" So it's been up there and it's never I'm gonna frame it. I told her I'm gonna frame it, and then when she get older and get married, I'm gonna give it back to her.
Okay, cool.
I wouldn't if I'm still here, but if I'm still here, she's gonna get it back. When she turned these 18 or 21, because she's like she think I'm gonna throw it away. Nope. She keep telling me throw it. Nope. You're gonna get it.
Nah, man. Somehow, like, you're one of the most active people. Like, it actually kind of doesn't make sense at the same time. But I feel like
Yeah.
that's a good thing, but like, I don't know. I feel like it is. It's kind of cool.
No, no, it's the thing about me, and even with the social media thing. When the whole internet started,
Yeah.
like when I first got it was in 97, 98. This is when it was brought to the public. The internet has been out, but it wasn't to the public yet until like 97, 98.
Hmm.
And I remember the first thing I got was web TV. And you had to, and that's when AOL had just come out, all this stuff. And we were like, this is how, because people say, like, hey, you got to get an email. We were like, what is an email? What did that mean? Email, and no, they were saying you got to get electronic mail. And we're going electronic mail. And they showed it to email. Because you ask a lot of people nowadays, a lot of generation new, they don't know what email, it doesn't know what it stands. They don't know what the E stands for. They don't know what electronic
Ah,
mail.
that's
So
true.
so when it first came out, this whole thing was phenomenal. Matter of fact, someone had said to me, "Hey man, uh, I read something about you guys on the internet," and we said, and I remember this is 90s, 97. We said, "What's the internet?" And they said it's a place where it's on a computer, and back in them days, computers were only for data and all that storage. We don't know. We're going, wait, how did they get? And this is how pretty much naive we were. We're like, how did they get all that information inside all those computers? Like, how did they do it? Like, what you mean? They went around and gave everybody something, they put it in. They said, no, it's on the internet. What's the internet? It's a thing where information is in the computer. It's inside that computer. We have no clue what the hell was going on, bro.
It's crazy though, for real.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I remember somebody had printed whatever it was about us out, and we were going, "Where did they get this information about us?" We doing all this readout, like, "What is this from?" Like, how the internet? I know it's the internet, but we don't know what that is. Why? Why is it called the internet? So, and then that's when I got the web TV and saw
Ah,
stuff, and it was very limited thing. So it's just this. I had been introduced to that, so that's why I'm so active now. But it's a lot of people from my era who look at the internet, and back and now it's this social media. We wasn't called. It was just you on the internet. That was it. You in some chat rooms, internet. We wasn't social media because we wasn't calling it that. But and it was just for me now it's just I tell people if we had this back in the 70s and 80s, everything would be more in perspective now, because now it's people, we're putting information, but then information people either you can't check or you hear about it. Oh, back in the day when we was doing this. Now you got people who can start their history now because and put it on. I mean, yeah, I got clips up, but think about all the clips that I had no camera phone. There was nothing I
yeah.
could record on that I've seen and done. Like there is so many battles that I was a part of or seen and witnessed. All that's only here. You can't plug, till they get something you can plug it to my head and visually see it. It's a lot of memories of a lot of us that just here. We verbally speak it, but it's almost like people hear it and someone like, oh, we don't know if that's true or not. But we had internet back then, can't dispute it because you see it.
But I love
So,
how like because of that, that's one thing that I miss about like a century ago. Like
mm,
we now, because it's the opposite, man. With TikTok and everything, it's
mm,
like I mean, I went to like a winter festival and there
mm,
was this light show and everyone was just kind of cuddled inside and I only
mm,
saw like the light from their phones.
mm,
It's like they weren't even there living the experience, and that's something like when it's in here, I just think that that's like something that's priceless. That's like, yo, I'm not gonna sell my mom for like $10,000 type.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I have two. I mean, I have, you know, kind of both feelings.
Yeah.
And my thing is this. Yeah, I get it. When you go to, when before you go to the club, and I was going to nightclubs and stuff, there was no phones. You can take pictures. But then again, I say, wow, you can actually take pictures of right now. Like we had to take a Polaroid. You wouldn't bring in a Polaroid camera to the club. Like, gee, what happened? You got looked at as the nerd is here. Why are you here in a big old Polaroid camera? You may, someone actually in the club they would take pictures of you, and it was with the Polaroid camera because that's the only instamatic thing. That was the instant. That was like our social media then. Instant, that Polaroid. Yeah, forget. So right now I'm more like it's easier, back, when to get to know somebody overseas than it was when I came up. We didn't know nothing about what Japan or China or anybody was doing of the dance. We didn't hardly know, even in America, what New York was doing. Now we've seen it on a special, or someone come from New York and say, this is what we're doing, or somebody from California go out there, this is what we're doing.
True.
So my thing is I get it. People, wake up. I mean, I wake up, I'm on my phone, but it doesn't stop me from being engaged in what I have to do. I can't, you can do a lot of things. You can shop, grocery shop, do all this stuff, all that. But I don't think it makes any of us lazier in a sense. I mean, being convenient, since I've been coming out with the world been trying to find better ways to do things more efficient.
I agree. That's true.
So, especially coming up in my day when you had the dial-up phones and you had to, use the rotary dial, and you trying to call your girlfriend as fast as you, and it's like, well, she got all, it's 9, 8, 7, 8, and you gotta be 9. Man, right? You can't even call 911 without somebody in my house. 9.
Yo, that's hilarious. All right,
now you just push it.
Joke.
Okay,
That's quality.
Yeah, okay.
But okay. Let's get back into it.
Yeah.
But no, this is
edit. So you mean like this? Probably crazy.
No, man. I think this is great. Okay, what is happiness?
Oh, happiness is
or what is happiness for you?
Happiness is doing nothing. Because I do so much, and everything I do is, I enjoy, but happiness is when I don't do anything. Happiness is when I'm literally lying in bed watching television. Oh man, because being on a go as much as I am on planes, train, automobiles, and going to these different countries. Yeah, it's lovely to see. I go to a place that I only seen in a book or dreamed about, but that happiness is true happiness for me is not doing anything. And I know it's weird. People say, "Nah, I love." See, there's something. The love is the love of the dance, the love of teaching, the love of sharing. Happiness is when I'm not doing it, and I'm just like,
that's true, yo.
I'm so happy right now. Like I'm just kind of like, because then you get to reflect. When you're moving, I'm in my class. I love what I'm teaching. I love what I'm performing. But I'm doing it. I'm in a physical situation. But what I'm happy is I got food, TV, sleep.
Oh,
that's my thing, man. And family, of course. But TV, I'm a TV lover, dude. I love being being lazy, being
Okay,
content.
what's
No, no,
what?
no. That's changing. Being content. Being lazy is different than being
Yeah,
content.
it's true.
Being content, I'm just like, did everything I did had to do today. Yes, I was content.
It's important that you made that distinction because if you let it slip, it could have messed up your psyche.
Exactly, and that's the thing because you're right, and I'm big into the psyche, so I'm more like this whole energy, the whole thing. So it's kind of like you can say something or do something, and it just rearranges everything or change. So
Does utilizing time properly make our lives meaningful and happy?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, mm, because yeah, I mean definitely, but it's some days that I don't. Time wise, I don't care. Like, what am I doing today? Nothing. So I wake up, then I go to sleep. So time wise, I'm not looking like, oh, I gotta utilize like. But if I'm on a schedule, like like when I was doing we were rehearsing with Omari, and we had to be at rehearsal from 12 to 6. Then and after that, then I go do other things, and then sleep and go back. So it was a schedule, and I had to do this, had to do that. So you
Are
know,
are like are environments at that scale like actually very organized? Like, does it actually start at 12 and end at 6, or is it like a little bit? Because sometimes when you go to dance jams,
no, 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 nothing starts on time. Only thing pretty much starts on time is a movie. So you go to movies, you're gonna get and no, they don't even start on time.
actually,
Let
it's
me.
true still.
That's true because they said the movie started at 12:20, but they're not. Now we're in the days of previews and commercials,
Oh
and
shit!
so it doesn't start until 20 minutes later. So basically, now you can get to the movie 20 minutes after
Fuck.
when it starts. So there's no. It should say it all. I think the movie should say pre-start, pre anything.
Yeah.
No, the actual start is this. The pre. So now I can get here at to utilize my time. So I really have to rush the movie. We gotta go. The movie started at 12:30. People who understands that go, we good. They got about 20, at least 15, 10, 15 previews to do. At least 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. Count that out. That's about 20 minutes. We good.
I
So
hate. There needs to be a category for this type of knowledge because there's a lot of random shit that everybody like deals with. But like, I don't know. Is it street smarts? I don't know what it's called, but
I make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. This is why this is me. This is me listening to just being observant to things. I pay attention. I dwell. I dwell. Me and Skeeter used to say this. There are some people who surface dwell. Look at stuff surface wise. We dumpster dive. We're in the gut.
oh,
So
you see, the
we're
word
the bottom.
dwell is a good word too because
Yeah,
dwell like involves like sustenance in time.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Exactly. And because there's a thing where a lot of us won't read the fine print. I'm a
it's so
fine print.
true. Shit.
I'm a fine
Oh
print
fuck.
reader. So because I gotta know, like I can listen to people talk, and I can see what you really mean. I can see the undercurrent. I can see, okay, you there's that's that hidden subliminal up in there, but you trying to say it like this, but I understand what you're trying to do. So that's
Did you
why.
ever get screwed over by something like that in a weird way?
No. Oh
Okay.
wait. Okay, wait. Let me stop. I say no because I know now. No then because I was naive. I only but my I recognize me being naive. I'm naive once, and
Yeah.
then I conform to, and then
Ah.
you cannot do me because I don't recognize this. There's no. This is so no. Oh, I see you coming. I tell people, I see you coming. You're like a window to me. I see all through you. You're like, huh? I see through you, dude. You're just it's so clean and I can see into your soul. I know what you're about. I know what you're trying to do. That's why people can't get over on me on business. Oh,
Yeah.
people look at people go, hey, I say, yeah, I know what you're trying to do. Yeah, we really don't. Yeah, but if you do, nah, I know what's up.
What's one piece of business advice you can give for us?
Man, I always say whatever you, especially I go this a lot. Whatever you negotiate, far as like some people, you know, find out somebody's getting paid a little bit more and they get mad. And I said, who you mad at? Well, I'm mad at the organizer. Why? Because see, did you negotiate with the same organizer that I negotiated with? They said, yeah. Were you in my negotiation? No. So you asked for what you asked for, right? So know your worth. Know
Yeah,
your worth and stick to what it is. Even if you find out somebody got a little higher, doesn't mean you're worth less. You're worth
agreed.
what you say you are. So people tend to look at that and oh, I didn't get, but you negotiated that. So who you need? Well, you're gonna be mad at yourself. Say you're a poor negotiator. But I tell people, you're not a poor negotiator. You know what you're worth. That's what you feel.
Yeah,
And I'm not knocking you because you said you only want this amount, but this person got this amount. That ain't got nothing to do with it.
true.
There's no scale. And if there's a scale, and if the organizer went, don't tell that other person, then it's different.
Okay, fair.
So
It's good
my
that
thing is
you
just
preface that though. True.
know your worth, man. And know your worth is knowing you, not knowing anybody else's worth. It ain't about whomever else, it's about you.
True. Where does self-worth come from?
Man, just self is just like pretty much like how you think of yourself. If you think you're a good person, you think you're an okay person. I mean, self worth is like how much have you put in to you and what you feel. Like, oh, I put these many hours into this. Some people go, well, because P, you've been around for 42 years, so no, there's people. It has nothing to do. There's people who came, only been in the business, became popular, famous, and getting 10 times more than I asked for. It's
Yeah.
not so self worth. And there's this thing of balance where you have to understand. There's popularity worth. Then there's someone said, "Don't treat me like shit." I'm worth. I'm so you got to understand there is self-worth is you you respecting who I am or respecting the value of who I am versus the business part, like because
Yeah.
everybody go out and get the same. So self-worth it fluctuates or it changes within the parameters of where you place yourself. Self-worth, someone say, you ain't nothing. No, this is who I am. I'm way better than what you think I am as a person. And someone say, well, business wise, I can only can give you this. Nah, I gotta give you this because
Yeah.
this is my where I am right now. So, and it's just so
Now
it's
that we
more
talk
stuff.
about self-worth,
Mm.
and I may be treading into dangerous territory here. So you can tell me if you don't want this
Go
in to
ahead.
be in
I,
whatever.
I talk about anything. If I don't answer, that means it's just what it is. But go ahead. You can
That's
ask me
totally
anything.
cool. I feel like when we talk about self-worth, this makes me think about the very like prominent and recent phenomenon with fiction versus J-Rock. I don't even know. What are your thoughts on it? I don't know. Like,
I mean, the battle's tomorrow here. I'm not going. It's not about because for me, I don't need and I've wrote it. I don't need no one to battle for me. You don't have to, you don't need to, I've been dissed, I've been talked about, I've been said this, and many people say, man, let me battle. Nah, it's just a
yeah,
dance. It's a dance. It's not to the death. This is not going to war. This is not big brother, little brother. This is about dance. And if you calling out someone, I wrote it. Calling, I don't care if you call out pioneers, legends, everybody is acceptable for the get down and the
yeah,
call. So I don't care about all that, But my thing is, I don't. I don't need no one to fight my battles, to dance my battles. And I'm not offended by someone calling out, somebody called out Boogaloo Sam. If he don't step up, he don't step up. I
Yeah.
mean, that's my thing is I don't get that part. I don't get because you deem a person not in the in the street dance, whatever stuff, like he can't call out a person. A
That's fair.
person. So I don't that all and for me it's simple. And again, I don't understand all the rigmarole, all the yippity yappity yickety yak, all the posts, all the long memes and all this. If fiction called out flat top either step up or don't step up. But it
That's
don't
it.
need everybody else to jump in and go, hey man, now, oh well, he dissed him. He's a legend. What's that got to do with anything? I
Yeah.
mean, it's called a call out. We are all still dancers. No one is above the ass kicking or
Yeah.
giving the ass kicking. So
Yeah.
man, I'm cut from a whole different thing. I battled my own son 5 times. And it wasn't nothing about he's my son. It's just Sam told me to respect the dance. I don't have to respect you in the sense of because you got a status, meaning I'm not. There's a thing about dissing and things about I'm respecting the dance. You're just a person that's doing the same thing I do, but I have to make sure that the dance that I'm doing is on a respectable level. That means if I got to step up to the plate of doing what I need to do because it's dance that I was taught, then I have to do that. And I don't need anyone to step up for me because I'm gonna lose on my own merit. I don't because this battle for me doesn't. What does it do? It doesn't do anything of flat top putting his skills against homeboy.
Yeah.
What does it do? He's out of the woodworks now.
Yeah.
He got called out. J Rod
So
didn't get called out. He got called out.
yeah.
Step up or don't step up. That's all it is. How it was back in the day. That's what we did. We never. I don't get this. I don't get this. This era, man. This era is. And I'm not saying everyone, but man, I don't need nobody freaking battling for me.
That's why it's important for me to ask these questions because I'm in that era and all the people surrounding me are in that era. So if I don't talk to people that aren't in this era, how can I, approach something from a more, or at least step back from the situation, right? Because now it's just like anywhere I go, it's just too, and I have to form an opinion on it. But I agree with you. If it's kind of like
You can't even have
their,
a form of opinion because it's about, oh, he called him out? Yeah. Did they battle? No. Okay.
all
That's simple. It's not
right,
even
next,
about
still next,
it's
next.
it's not even about trying to figure out well, how can fiction do this? How can J Rock do this? How can it's about did he step up? No. Did they battle? No. Cool. Until someone else, if I'm gonna call someone, let me call you out on my thing against you because I have something against you, not to generate it through something else.
Yeah.
I don't need, to it's like what you about to have a fight with someone else, they back down, and then you turn around and pick a fight with somebody sitting next to you that had nothing to do with anything. Just
Hmm.
like, oh, he don't want to fight. You look like you want to fight me. Like, no, what you talking about? Oh, we're gonna fight now, but I have nothing to do with that. I'm just a spectator. I don't care. Since he backed down my fight, but that has nothing to do with the T in China. And I don't know why it's always that way. T in China, because T is in London and T is in Europe. I don't know why T in China. But anyway, the so I'm not going. It's like I mean, it's just like I'm not interested.
Cool.
I'm not interested. It's not a thing that you know, and this for me just became a exhibition. It became a versus like when we did it, like we just see people walk down. Oh, you got a club? Let's go. let's go. All this, I mean, all the setup.
Damn.
And I get called out many times through social media, through my people hit me, inboxing me. They inbox me and say, I want to battle you. And I write them this. It's easy. Or they, even out on the, even on an open a field or a feed or anything. I go, okay, if we ever cross paths, well, we can do that. Other than that, this is you made your introduction. We have no other thing to say. I'm not writing no bunch of freaking goddamn a long post about nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about a person and saying what they don't do, how they don't do it, they ain't real, they ain't this, they ain't that, they ain't this, they ain't that. Then why are you battling them? That's my question. It should be, you want to battle? Yeah, I want to battle you. I want to battle. Okay, cool.
Cool.
That's it. That's how simple it has to be. But we gotta make a storyline about every damn thing now.
So
about dance battling.
Yo, Popin Pete, what was your most interesting battle? Like one of your.
Oh, when I just do named Tony Hall. Tony Hall was we were both. He was 15. I think I was 16, and we friends now to this day. And we battled in Long Beach at the recreational youth center called the Hutch, and they had a party, and he called me out, and this is like in '78. This is in the young and maybe a couple months before he started. He started seeing us and learning and doing stuff, and he just wanted to battle, and I think we went 3 songs. Going back and forth, and then we stopped. Some people say he won, some people say I won, some people say it was a tie, but then we battled again about a couple months later, because back in those days, when you battle someone and you lost, or even if you won, but if you lost, you go home and you practice, and if I ever see that person again, it's on. Oh my God, that's how it was. It wasn't when I seen him at the next, a year later and sign up for Just a Boo or something. It was, if I see him on the streets, you give it that time. You don't go next week, but you go home and you go to practice, and you see what you didn't do, or you see what they did, and you try to counter it. You think about it. That's what I did. So I saw him a couple of months later at his high school, and I had this one. I was only doing the popping. Then I started learning how to boogaloo and do toy man style, all these other styles, puppet. And then I just, when we got there, we was at his school at the homecoming day, and it was a big circle, and it's the first time I heard the song Aqua Boogie by Parliament, and I went. So, and he went, and then I went popping, then he went, then I came out, I started doing boogaloo stuff and rolls and toy man. He was like,
oh shit.
And he stopped. He said, "You won."
Okay. So, 2 questions come to my mind, but I want to ask. So, like, now that so much has changed with like how the battling perception has, like, from the past, do you think that this taints? Like, I don't want to use the word taints, but this changes the culture of what Boogaloo Sam or what it originally was. So, would you like to see it like sustained, or given the change? Or
I mean, there's things that natural progression of change is going to happen, but even how we the call out. Again, let me reiterate. I'm not mad that J Rock called Fiction out. I just said on the fact that the Flat Top didn't really need him to do that in a sense. Now, if he have some pre thing that him and Fiction had some kind of friction, then maybe that came out and that's what it is. But what I'm saying, back in when we coming up, it was, the call outs was the best, the unexpected call outs. those is the best. You walk in a mall and somebody want to call you out. You're at you drive. It was times that we was driving down the street in a mall and people drive up on the side of us knowing who we are and they dance. Hey, let's battle. I mean, we didn't say battle. See, we didn't say battle in California back in the day in the
Oh,
90s, in the 70s and 80s. We said get down or go against or you want to dance against me. Battling came
ah,
that word came from New York. So when we start hearing that, when I first heard that word, I was like, what do they mean battle? They fighting or something, or what is this war? I didn't know. We was like, cause then we found it's the same as saying go against, dance against,
so
want to get at.
what's New York's history with Popin? Like how did because now you mention it, it seems like it was first was it so California? It wasn't from California, rather Long Beach, Long
No,
Beach.
no, it's Fresno. No, Fresno. You know, of all the places like you had Oakland had and Bay had Strutting and Change Robot, Clinking, Posing, a lot of different things. We had Poppin, and Oakland has Boogaloo too, and we have Boogaloo. It's just the words, the same word, different approach, different
Okay.
foundation. But for me, it was from the Bay to Fresno, Fresno to the Bay, however you want.
How did it spread to New York?
When we on Soul Train, and then a lot of people would,
Oh,
some people came out of New York to from New York to LA or LA to the East Coast or West Coast to the however.
okay.
I mean that's how it was read. But and then you've seen some stuff here and there. They were telling me that you would see, but the Soul Train when we was on the Soul Train show was the one that gave a bigger introduction to what the West Coast was doing. Because I mean, I
Oh,
heard this from Mr. Freeze. I heard this from many people that lived was there in that times, even though they were young. Because everybody, like we're gonna say, he was in elementary school, so or pre, or maybe junior high. So he said when he got back to school on Monday, he said he didn't get to see the performance. He just saw everybody talking about it.
hmm.
So it's a trip because I've met like dancers and then their parents who've seen us on so who were 17, 18, my age, and they said, yeah, and it's so funny because the people that their kids are now being taught by is the same people that they were young watched us on TV. So it was like, so the whole thing was like in New York they saw it, but they didn't, again, not understanding what it was. So everyone had an interpretation because there was no schools, there was no teaching. So you see something for the first time. You remember there was, and back in the day, there was no reruns, there was no repeats, there was no
Holy
social
shit.
media, none of that. So once you saw us that one on any television show, I don't care who was on there dancing on these things, you try to remember, and that's why I call the era before social media or before the internet came was I think this is how you do it era, because you will see somebody, even if you saw somebody in a circle, you saw them in live, you go home and say, I think this is what they're doing. That's what people did. I saw
Yeah.
these guys, they were doing something nice. I think it was going like this. So I call it, I think this is what they did era. So which in turn turned a lot of things of the foundation incorrect. Information started being going out, flooding out, because everybody had their interpretation of what they saw. Then then they hear a name, Electric Boogaloo. Then something became Electric Boogie. Then it became Pop Lock and all these things where
Yeah.
people didn't know. So because it was, I think, era, and because again now you can put information out and people, oh yeah, because you see it, you read it, and it's over and over. Somebody saying it over and over, and even now it's more confusing now because you're building off of that whole thing where the East Coast had their interpretation of what they saw, as well as a lot of other people, Midwest, down south. So it's have a lot of different elements or things that change the narrative of what we doing originally.
So you've traveled a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously you travel all the time. So, hmm, I'm curious about your experiences with different dance cultures. Like at first, when you, like, can you tell me about like the first time you started like doing international traveling as opposed to
Mhm.
now? Now that you're a seasoned traveler, like, what do you expect? Like, what excites you?
Well, it was Japan. Japan was the first place because after I did the movie Breaking, we did a promo tour in Japan in '84 because
Oh,
they released well it ended up kind of in '84 because they released the movie internationally like the movie came out May of '84 in America. I think it came out in August. Internationally, it dropped like in July, August.
hmm.
So we had to do promo tours. So that's my first time in internationally going to Australia, going to Mexico City, going to Hong Kong, and Japan, and all that. Um, it was it was a trip because uh, you bring in something that they hadn't seen before, And I'm and even watching the movie, and actually the movie wasn't even out. Meaning you doing this promo, and they talking to you, and it was just going, just crazy. And then '85, me and Skid Rabbit went back to Japan to perform in clubs and stuff. So not knowing the language, not even, and then those days we wasn't teach. There was no class. There was nothing. We was just performing in the nightclubs, and anybody that's 20, I think 18 and over at the time, would just see us in the club. And then you won't see these people like because everybody party all night, so you don't see these people until the next day you go to the club. Like it wasn't a hangout spot. It was that you only seen us get down in the club because then either we doing something in the daytime had nothing to do. We were playing arcades or shopping or exploring Japan, but there was nothing like it is partly now. But so it's just the language difference, and again, they really don't need language, just dance, and then you tell them that you dance on a movie, and then you dance with Michael Jackson, and then you got instant fame. So, so it was just, and then at this time, because China had not developed yet. And this is again '85. Korea hadn't developed because we used to go to Korea because we were staying in Japan for like 6 months. But after 3 months, you got to leave out. We go to Korea, and for one day and come back to get another 3 months stamp. But we go there, it's military. We go to a club. You see people in there trying to do it, but Koreans, yeah, it wasn't not one, not one in 1984, 85, 86, 87. They didn't start really dancing. They didn't start being taught until like 90, maybe 93, 94, 5.
Shit.
Yeah, because that's when OGS, Japan OGS went there, and started teaching. That's how they got a Korean OGS. So yeah, it was to see. I've seen countries develop, not people, countries that
Yeah.
wasn't popping, wasn't boogaloo, wasn't locking, none of that turned out to be powerhouses. Like China was not. Skeeter Rabbit was the first foreigner to go teach in China the ED style. The first person he taught to was Super Dino was his first student. So
Damn. So,
yeah.
so, who are some like Japanese OGs? I think I'm probably gonna move to Japan in June. Who are
Mm.
some Japanese OGs?
Oh man, Tetsu, Tetsu. Whew, man, uh, you
Just
had a
one more.
second. You had a second generation. You got Aki and them came up,
That's true.
even though they've been around, but they was Kai and all them was like young. Like Tetsu is the OG to them because I met Tetsu when he was 16 and I was 26. So
Ah.
we've been on it, and Tetsu just turned 50. So and I did so that's
Ah.
how long him and I have been knowing each other. So I mean, pretty much those, and there was a lot of who else was out there? A lot of people that have stopped dancing. years
Yo,
ago.
that I wanted to ask you about that. How do you feel about that? Is that
Mm,
is just people that you've seen devote so much of their time of their life
mm,
or even their
mm,
identity, but then
mm.
they just kind of it just kind of disappears or they disappear.
Well, yeah, because I mean, for one, you got to make a living at it. Two, you can do it for the love of it, and still, but you gotta because it's like when I first started. You gotta remember we were young. We was 15, 14, 17, 18, years old. We was kids trying to do a dance, but the dance at that moment was a dance of the moment. It was a trend. It was just happening. So I think it was a hobby to people. No one saw the future. I mean, in a sense, we saw the future in a sense because I was like, you know, I made a career out of it. A lot of people was made a a trend out of it. It was a trend to them. Now they come back because they used to do it back then because they see now it became popular. It became sustained because I'm me, Skeeter Rabbit, and some few other people sustained, made it, put it out there, go to these other countries. Because if it wasn't for, when I say this with all seriousness, if it wasn't for the international market of us going there and then people seeing international dancers doing this thing that's created in America, popping, locking, breaking, all that stuff would be dead.
That's why it's kind of crazy. That's like I think that you already know, but it may be understated how much of an impact you actually created. Like the fact
Yeah.
that even in Canada, like we have a lot of Japanese people come to study English, etc. But
Mhm.
a lot of the people are dancers, and they kind of like get together at this university called Ryerson. Just
Yeah.
something so specific like that. It's because of that popularization.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
and,
weird.
and I don't even know that we planted the seed, and but I have to often tell my American dancers who sometimes will ridicule the international market of they don't know they da. I'm saying if it wasn't for them, I said, and this goes, and a lot of people don't understand. A lot, even in singing and all that, a lot
True.
of artists go international, go over there, get popular, then it comes back here and they become more popular. It happened like that with the dancing because if you go and talk to now the young generation in China, you got kids. I was at a studio where I taught nothing but kids from 4 years old up to 14 years old.
Damn.
These people, this is only thing they know is I want to know how to pop, boogaloo, tut, all the stuff. This is their social dance. This is what they grew up on, and this is what they know.
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, you're going, this isn't where the dance comes from. But these people embrace it more than the young generation here in America because here we in America it's social dance. It's not popping and locking and all that stuff. That is for them. That's dance that that's that old school or that's that before us. Them that is now. So,
That's
but if it
true.
wasn't for Japan, if it wasn't for uh, Europe, this dance in America wouldn't be on the level. We wouldn't be having contests because all the events started overseas. We wasn't having like that. That was formed over there. Then people start forming stuff here and there. Whether
Yeah.
they went to Canada. If Canada had early days. Cause Sam went to Calgary and like in '84, I went there, Vancouver. So it's a lot of things that we've done, but we don't get the credit for it. Plus, I don't go around bragging about it. I don't even go, oh yeah, if it wasn't me, I wouldn't be doing this. But I don't appreciate sometimes when I hear a lot of my American dancers who are bitter sometimes talk about the international market like they don't know that. You wouldn't even be talking about this whole thing if it wasn't for them
Yeah.
embracing it and making it put it on a platform where people want to do it. Like, some of the biggest events are from overseas. Just the Boo and all these other things started. They're doing American dances. So that should be for me. You should, as an American dancer, you should feel proud. Whether you should look at it and go, "Wow." we're influenced. And even if you didn't directly, you can say indirectly, I'm American, I do this dance. Yeah, we influenced all this. I would even brag about that. But a lot of people don't want to do that because they so stuck on us against them. I don't do that because I
Yeah,
don't.
that's when we talk about equality, man, that's also one of the things we got to include. Just like
Exactly.
the oh man, oh dude. Okay. Um
Then my battery about to die.
okay, how important is failure to success?
Ooh.
We got you running,
Well,
man.
yeah, I mean, I mean that old, I guess that old stigma, the old saying, you don't know success until you failed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but who wants to fail? But fail is a teaching thing too, I guess. I mean, I don't, I know listening to that statement or whatever, it's kind of like, damn, I don't, failure is the worst thing, man. Like,
Yeah.
and and sometimes failure can make a person not want to succeed because you're gonna fail and it hurts like hell and you get discouraged and you do this. But I think, I mean, on the other hand, yes, you gotta go through the fire, I guess, in a
Yeah.
sense. But I don't like to fail, man. That's the thing. But I know failure is a part of things because everyone's not going to be successful. Everybody's not going to, achieve the goals that we set for ourselves. It's about kind of like, if, I guess it's, I guess it's just having the ability to get up from a failure, whether you getting up and trying to do the same thing, but if you just get up and try and maybe say, well, that didn't work. And that's the thing also about sometimes about failure into success is about how 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 often are you going to keep trying something that you failed at a few
Yeah.
times? And that's the thing. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try it again. Like, I'll fail. Then you either got to go. Well, let me readjust. Yeah, maybe that's not for me. Maybe I should go this way. Sometimes it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, I have a lot of friends who failed at dancing, but became very successful on the other side of the camera, on the other side of the business. They was dancers, but they didn't happen like that. Now, actually, they make more money doing what they do now that still has something to do with entertainment than they did doing dancing. So they failed at dancing, but that catapulted them into, okay, what if I do this? I'm good at
Yeah.
management, really. So now this person is managing NBA, NFL players, which is a different. So
Yeah.
it's like, and I'm not saying he failed at dancing, but he stopped dancing. He went as far as he could and say, nah, failed at dancing. But I've seen people who just or didn't dance one for them and went did something so then they became teachers and this and that. So.
At what point is too much hardship?
Woo! Ooh. I've asked that to myself so many times. Like, damn, dude, how much? What you
But
gonna
it's like
go through?
never, right?
Like,
Truly.
yeah, it's almost never. It's like because sometimes the thing about it, man, that word I say passion. Sometimes passion really makes you, stick to something that like, okay, damn, I know this ain't what I should be doing, but I'm so passionate about it. And he's like, it's a constant fight. It's a constant thing that even myself I go through. So, because some days it's good, some days are not. Some years is okay. Sometimes still a grind, still a hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm. So, how do you feel about art? What is art to you?
Woo! Art. Making. I don't know. I guess it's something that has that's important to others, because I don't know, because the interpretation of art, because everybody sees art differently. You know, may see something, a painting, you may that looks beautiful painting. No, a painting's ugly. I don't want to see that painting. They can't paint, or you know, what I mean, so art is just a interpretation, but I think it's also, I mean, like what's how you want to present what you do, like and even with popping over the so many years, people in the classic world or whatever look down on us, like, oh, y'all, what y'all doing is just dime a dozen, has no structure, has no you know curriculum or any of that, but it does. And I think that's the part where in what we do, this is why I do say what I do is art. It's artful. It has its structure. I think that's what it is. It's just uh, because me having to have had many debates and arguments with people in the classical world that shunned or looked at me like really. And I said, here's this is how much art we have. They say, well, no, because ours thing has culture and it's art. No, check this out. This is called a walkout. It has a name. It
Yeah.
has a structure to do this. It has the foundation. It has name.
Uh-huh.
Just like your thing called the genre day or the so and so or this and that. You can teach it and in a school or whatever. I can do the same. So it's not like this goes street dance. That's why sometimes I hate when people just say, "Oh, people can do anything." There's structure to and things that I do, that we do. So I think, yeah, art is, I guess, just things that kind of like just you know the it's important. I mean, that has important components to to a culture, making people look at it or read about it or do it. It has just has a universal community cultural feel to it, I guess.
Dude, I don't know how the hell you answered that question, to be honest, but thank
I
you.
don't either.
I just
You
asked the
know,
questions and listen. Um,
yeah.
what benefits does art provide society? Does art hurt society in any way?
Um, it all depends on what's the interpretation of it. I mean, you can have negativity in the sense of what it was born under, or what it represents. Um, but I think anything that makes people feel good is beautiful. That has, especially for me, it was about self um, gratification. It was about when I saw Sam, how it, like, when I saw him dance, how it made me feel. And I was like, this is beautiful. This is amazing. This is, you
Damn.
know, so I wanted to have that same feeling. So this, for me, that encompassed that whole situation where it's about an inner, it's about that inner, and how you, that's why went back to, I said, you respecting the dance, but also it's how you give it, you
Yeah.
know. And when I teach, everybody know I teach with love. I teach the dance with love, meaning that you see it in my eyes, my body, and my words. And everything I do is artful. It has to be. It has to be.
How can others respect dance and give back to our funk
Hmm.
gods?
How can they do not say again?
How can we give back to our funk gods?
Well, I don't know about the funk gods. I mean, we all just dancers, man. My thing is
Oh
this.
damn.
I'm like this. I started out just like anyone else. I I'm not doing any other than me being on television, me being in a movie, me being in a situation where, you know, because there are people who came up behind me, even younger than me, are just as popular.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's a continuous. We all cogs in the machine. We all
Damn.
everybody add their thing. We all keep rolling. We all keep growing. We all keep keep the wheel in the machine oiled and functioning. So I understand this whole popularity, whole famous thing. I get it, celebrity, whatever. But my whole thing is it's it's just for me it's just passing on the gratitude and the humbleness of the dance, because a lot of people get caught up into okay, now I'm popular, now I can act and act out, versus saying, how did I get here? How did I become popular? Was it me just walking down the street and somebody said, oh my God, look like you can dance? No. Is it because the dance that gave you your identity? So this is where you have to say, without this, then I'm not known in the dance world. So the dance is the most important thing. That dance is what got you to where you are. As me being Popin Pete, so and so being so and so, this person being that person. So my thing is, you have to stay humble, humble to the fact. So you pass that along, and skill set is skill set. And people say, "Oh, I love the way so and so dance. Oh, I like the way he dances." It's gonna be there. Who cares? But it's the humbleness that we should be passing along and saying, so we got to back to the whole respect. It's about I respect who you are. Oh, you're not as popular as me. I still respect you. So that's how I am. I just respect people on the fact that they're doing a dance that I fell in love with.
I respect you, man. I can't believe. Yeah, man. I don't want to sound like a fan.
I mean, we just friends. I have friends. I
Mm.
understand the fan base stuff, but I treat everybody as such. Sometimes I feel weird still autographing pictures
That's what I'm
and
saying.
people. It's
It probably
weird.
happens all the time,
Yeah, it's weird.
and
It's
you're
weird.
and then you're just like, no, 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 no. I'm humble. But then the
Yeah,
person's like,
yeah, yeah.
can I?
Yeah, that's that part right there, bro. It's like it's that fight, dude. It's like I'm humble, but if you say no, I don't, no, then they say, oh, now you're a diva. So wow. So, but
Oh my god.
in myself, I'm going. I get it, but it's weird to me. That like, oh, can I have your autograph on a shirt? Like, because I don't actually I've never, all the celebrities and people, artists I've worked with, I've never had a personal autograph from anyone. I've never asked, because
Yeah.
so I no, don't believe me, I get it. I truly get it. You see somebody on TV every day, or you hear their music, and it's just them singing, dancing, acting. But the people around here, because pleasurement like that makes us stuff, but no one looks at the a doctor who just saved 20 people and go and get his autograph. It's like, that dude is important. That woman is important. That's that thing, because like you said, it's like art. Yeah, you doing the real important work, but it ain't famous enough for it. We don't care. Now, if you was a singing doctor and was not,
Yo, don't kill me. Oh my god. That's
you know,
hilarious.
because like I said, it's like the actor, the fake actor doctors get all the things. The real doctors gets no love.
Grey's Anatomy, dude.
Great,
Oh
come
my
on,
god.
everybody on there. They. Oh my God, he this episode he saved people. And the real doctor going like, do you know that's fake, right? That ain't gonna happen that way.
Oh
So
my.
that's how society is, because we, entertainment and seeing entertainers takes us into a fantasy world or something
Yeah.
that we. And again, you need both. You need a balance. That's why I say I still feel weird And can I take a picture? Can I take a picture with you? Okay. You know, it's after 4. I'm like, really? Like, you still want to take a picture with me?
And then there's a lineup, and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
this is fine, man.
Yeah.
I'm used to this. This happened
Like
last
this.
week too.
Yeah. I'm going like, like this little kid's only 6 or
Popin
7
Pete,
years
ladies
old.
and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But okay, I want to ask you one last question.
Okay. Because, yeah, we got one last question, too, because it's about to go off.
If you could teach everyone in the world one concept, what concept would you share?
The ability to dance on beat. Thank you. That's it.
That's hilarious.
Dance on beat. That is one of my pet peeves. It's about, I don't care how many times you can learn all the foundation, you can know all the moves, but they are not on beat to me, then they're just like someone singing in a band that cannot sing. The band sounds great, but the singer is off key. So what? It's terrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Popin Pete.
Thank you, everyone. It's my pleasure.